Horror has taken many forms over the years. However, what if I told you there was a game that fed on the idea on what if Disney went dark? In other words, Bendy and the Ink Machine. So, sit back, relax, and enjoy. With most horror games in this day and age, the environments are not given the proper attention that they deserve, as most of the time, they focus on making the player focus only on the objective, and it shows as most of the time that we are playing the game, we don't get time to stay around and admire the environment around us. However, with Bendy and the Ink Machine, the creators have focused on giving us a story, yes, however they have allowed us to look and admire how much detail is put into these environments that are given to us, such as the workshop that we visit for the first time in Chapter 1, and the theme park in Chapter 4, while progressing the story at our own pace. The game also provides a freedom in a way that allows us to look around and discover secrets that this old studio has stored for us. Secrets that tell us that there's more to this location than we realize. Like the many voice recordings that we are able to listen to that tell us what it was like working here at the studio and with Joey Drew. Or the many messages on the walls made of ink that tell us that these workers needed a miracle to escape this reality of insanity and sorrow. Even the secret Bendy cutout that we find while hacking outside the walls of the studio tells us that this little cutout is warning us that we aren't supposed to be here. In any case, so much is given to us with the environments that it is rather amazing just how big and vast and mysterious the studio really is. However, it makes us think on what drove this place into insanity and leaves us with a question as to why we, as the player, returned to this place all these years later. Well, you will know that answer the more you explore the ink. However, if you choose to explore this ancient studio, know that you will begin to understand Joey Drew's one obsession and demise into madness. There are many factors that make a good horror game. The music, the environment, and the characters. However, nothing can beat the chill going down your spine as you play a horror game. With Bendy and the Ink Machine, it creates this feeling of tension that tells you that the ink demon is stalking you, waiting, reminding you that this is his domain, his eternal horror show. A show made to make you experience a twisted nightmare meant to go on till the end, and that this nightmare is only just begun. The game has also done a great job of making you feel paranoid as you explore the studio, as you have no idea what's in store for you. Another element that the Bendy and the Ink Machine has done well that many horror games fail to do in this day and age is capturing the essence of what a certain environment would be like if it was the main stage for a horror game, and in this case, an abandoned studio. From the environments, the sounds, telling you that this place is slowly withering away as you explore this place filled of swollen dreams. To the story and its many secrets that it decides to unveil, and even the random characters and enemies that you encounter just create this feeling of dread that makes players question if they are alone, and to the point that you're questioning on if you're truly alone at night in your own home. To some people, however, they think that this game is just a survival game. Well, if that was the truth, then you wouldn't be watching this video right now, and yet here you are. So, if you ever decide to play this game, don't underestimate it. It may have a cartoony look. However, that's only an illusion that the game chooses to play in your mind's eye. Now, much like FNAF, the designs for the characters of Bendy and the Ink Machine are but simple and effective. For example, with the design of Boris, it takes the inspiration of Goofy, however making Boris a more adorable version of that character by just being on the screen. And on his debut in Chapter 3 and at the end of Chapter 2, it made him a favorite due to him just being by your side and aiding you while being adorable and simple. But because of him trying to wake you up before Alice kidnaps him at the end of Chapter 3. Speaking of Alice, Alice Angel takes the idea of Two-Face but to a new level. Her face gives you the idea that she may seem beautiful on the outside. However, there is a dark side to her beauty. Now, if you understand the lore behind her character, then you would understand that the face design was a side effect of her personality before she became the ink version of Alice. To sum it all up, the original voice actor of Alice Angel, Susie Campbell, was fired and replaced by someone better, as she grew in jealousy and hatred towards Joey Drew, as she was told that she was perfect for the role of Alice Angel, and she grew close to the character over the years, or in her own words, she is a part of her. Now, that would all change one day when Joey would ask her to have lunch with him, and then break the news to her about her getting replaced. But then, later on, he asked her to come back to the studio for an opportunity, which this opportunity would be the project to bring his cartoonish characters to life.
I know how much this part means to you, Susie. Alice means a lot to me, too. Gosh, all of my characters do. In fact, I'll let you in on a little secret. I, too, really believe my characters are more than just drawings. They're alive. They're part of us. And I want people to know them as well as I do. I want people to be able to shake their hand, spend an afternoon with them, love them. Susie, I'll be straight with you. I'm putting together a small project, a little ceremony. Winners, a lot of dreams will come true. And I want you to be a part of it. I want you to bring Alice to life once again. What do you say?
Now, in other words, Joey was using her for the very start for his own ambition, and Alice was blinded by her own obsession, and it cost her. Then we have the Ink Demon himself. Now, much like Alice Angel, his design was a side effect of the ink, but also because he was the first experiment of the ink machine. However, Bendy was made without a soul, which made Bendy look like a walking corpse. And his design is by far the most unique concept for the game. His broken look resembling what would happen if you took something cute and twisted it. And that, my friend, is what makes the design of the Ink Demon crazy, but unique. A twisted, a corrupted creation made by the twisted mind and madness and downfall of Joey Drew. Everyone else in the game follows the same idea as well. Corrupted experiments that are stuck in a cartoonish world filled of insanity, made by the ambition of a creator who would go to lengths to reach his dream, even if it meant he would take away the thing they call freedom from those around him. When it comes to making entertainment as a whole, music is by far the most important thing to make for anything gaming or anything entertainment related, and can have an effect on how specific that scene or area or game or show feel. And with Bendy and the Ink Machine, the music is by far the best in any horror game. With each area that you explore, the music started to become more dreadful yet soothing at the same time to the mind and to the ear of the player. The music has created this view that you are in a studio, yes, but you're not alone in it. From running from the Ink Demon from chapters 1, 2, and 3, and 5 to pretty much all throughout the game, to fighting off the Butcher Gang, and to even just simply exploring the studio or the music department. The music has always played the role of making this game feel dreadful, mysterious, but also having this feeling of sorrow while being soothing in a strange and mysterious way. The best example for this would have to be the fight against Boris in Chapter 4. At first, the music gave you this view that the Boris you are fighting is no longer the friend you remember, but rather this disgusting brute who is mindlessly following the one who betrayed us in Chapter 3. And when we finally deliver the final blow, the music shifts to reminisce on the fact that we killed the only friend we ever had, and that we couldn't save him. And all we feel is sorrow's hand. Bendy and the Ink Machine's music was given so much love and attention and care that the music is probably the best thing in the game, but also was one of the many things that was missed, and what I missed in Bendy and the Dark Revival. However, in this game, it was made perfectly, and in a way, it would be kinda hard to not talk about it. For some time now, music in society has always given us the ability to feel emotional. But in Bendy and the Ink Machine, we are only left with embodied agony. To be honest, whenever this game was first released, I was in 5th grade, and ever since then, the game still remains as a unique and underrated piece of art. From the chapter-based story that makes you want to know more, to the unique yet cartoonish environment that was brought to life with just a pencil and a dream, to just the sheer curiosity that it created with everyone who played it back then. Bendy and the Ink Machine has grown ever since in 2017 that we are having more titles being released, and even a film being made about it as well. Everything from the fan songs about the game, like Build Our Machine and the Horror Show, to the art that was put in the game, and even the creations of a remake of the first chapter, proves that this franchise will grow to heights or surpass heights that might even go to FNAF level. Of course, the company has seen some backlash over the past few years, and even some controversies as well. However, everyone has had bad moments every once in a while. It's what makes us human. Now, speaking about FNAF, the one key similarity that I can point out that they both have in common is having a dark and twisted lore. I say this as well, the game is pretty much a loop of a creator's twisted and crooked dream to have an empire. An empire that burned because of his obsession of his creations, which, to a degree, it changed him. No, it controlled him. His life was controlled by the very thing he wanted to have. And with each chapter, we grew closer to a truth. A truth that Joey was creating an even deeper hole for himself with each action he made. With the Ink Machine, through the theme park, the experiment, the bankruptcy, and then eventually the shutdown of the studio. Everything he touched, he only created chaos, which in the end, he destroyed everything he had worked for. And he was only left with the monster he had created, the shadows of a past that seemed like a lifetime ago. To tell you the truth, Joey could have had the dream he wanted if he wasn't so blinded and bound to his twisted ambition. However, the thing he created was his own undoing. His selfishness and his delusions made him confounded to want more and more. However, he grew jealous of everyone else's happiness, and in the end, he created a monster to make everyone suffer, so that he was the only one happy. which led to the making of the ink machine, which, yes, he wanted to bring his creations to life. However, as time went on, the only reason the ink machine was there was to make everyone around him suffer to the very end. However, there is one thing he did not account for, and that was the fact that you can't have the human without the monster. Now, that is all for me for now. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you want more content like this, then please consider subscribing for more horror content like this in the near future. Now, I will see you all in the next one. Take care and God bless.